everything continue to work. Yes, no, good evening, guys. Good evening. Okay, so I think you should be able to hear me now. Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Please let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me and you can see me, just let me know. You can put it in the comments. Let me know. And I'm so great, so delighted to have everyone here. Victor, I can see you. Rotimi Victor. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, good evening. Hope you are good. Welcome, and it's a great pleasure to really do this with us. I am really, really excited. And yeah, I can't wait for what we all have for ourselves today. Okay, I can see Fee. Hi, Fee. How are you doing? How was your day? Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. So great to have you guys here. Um, and I'm so happy. Thank you for honoring this. And yeah, we are going to start. We wouldn't want to waste any time at all. So once it's 8:05, we start immediately. But you can still share the link to your friends so that they can join and so that we can have a very, very amazing time. And trust me, you're not ready for what you have for ourselves tonight. I received some questions and I know that there are really things that we need to like talk about. So it's really going to be a heartfelt conversation. You're going to really learn at least from my experience, and then I'm going to just be sharing more about myself. And trust me, it's going to be very, very. Okay, yeah, I can see Miss Adeomi. Good evening, bonsoir, welcome. It's so great to have you here. So great to have you here. Okay. Let me see this. Yeah. So I think let me go completely. Yeah, so how excited are we this evening? How ready are we? As I said, we're going to start. Yeah, we're not going to like wait any longer. But let me know how excited we are this evening for what for the old Jews, for the whole lessons, for the whole wisdom, for the whole insight that we'll have this evening. Let me just know. And please, right now, I want us to begin to do some introduction. Please introduce yourself. Introduce your name and where you're joining us from. Your name and where you're joining us from. Okay, so you can say yes, I'm Finn from Lagos. I'm David from Ife, and all of that. Let me just really know how where we are joining from. Okay. Um Okay, I think I'm still waiting for our replies. Let me know where we are joining from. Can you see anything on my screen? I want to be sure you can see my screen. Okay, so I think you should be able to see my screen. Okay, so I can see Victor from Ife. Hi, Victor. Welcome. It's so great to have you here. David from Lagos. Yeah. I can see. Miss Adewumiti is from Lagos. Yeah, so great to have you. I see. I want to guess. I want to believe that you can see my screen now, right? I really want to believe so. I want to believe that I can see my screen now. Okay, so yeah, we're going to, so we are starting, but if you want to see invite your friends, you can do that. Yeah, I can see Miss Mercy. Hi, Miss Mercy. It's great to have you here. Welcome. So great to do this with you. Thank you for joining. And yeah, so welcome to this feast, right? I'm going to, as I said, it's going to really be one of heartfelt conversations, and we are really going to be learning a lot from each other today. I'm going to be answering certain questions. I'm going to be sharing some principles that have really helped me, and yeah, I know we are really going to have an amazing time. Yeah, of knowledge and insight. Okay. So it's a pleasure to have you here, and I mean this is quite remarkable because of the whole situation or the whole celebration surrounding this, basically. So let us have some quick check-ins. Let's have some quick check-ins. Yeah, and the first is yeah. I believe that this evening we are going to really have lots of insights. We are really going to have lots of knowledge. So you would want to have a journal with you. You have a pen with you. You could grab a juice. Yeah, grab a juice, grab a snack, just so that you can, I mean, just feel so well because I mean we are definitely celebrating. Yeah. So it's good that you have a journal and pen with you. But even if you do not want to have a physical one, you could definitely have an e-journal, right? Where you just jot certain things that you know you would certain insights that would really be coming to you today. Then the next thing that you'd also want to like ensure is that you have stable data connection, right? And if that's not yet secured, you could easily find a place where you can easily get your data connection. As much as possible, I want us to be done with everything we want to do by 9:30. That's just about an hour and 20 minutes from now. Yeah. And I'll try as possible to like really stick to that. Okay. But yeah, so the third check-in is that I would love you to really call your friends. Anyone you know needs to be here. Anyone you know is actually on the journey of growth and they need to learn more. They need to do more. They want to see better versions of themselves. They want to experience a better them, a higher them. They want to really enter into that sphere that they know that they have dreamt of, or that they have dreamt about that higher vision, but they really do not know how to do it, or if like they are trying or they have little difficulties in balancing quite a number of things in their lives. This is just a good time for you to like send this thing to them so that they can join and they can learn too. Okay, and it's also good that you actually do instruction at this time. I know you may have a lot of chats and all of that, but you could just suspend them till 9:30 so that if you have any questions, you can just easily note them down and then I can take them also after the session. Okay, so basically right now, today we'll basically have three things. You're going to be networking. We are going to be talking about 24 principles that I've learned in 24 years, and you're going to have our Q&A sessions. I saw the questions from the Google form, and I was like, okay, yes, we are really in here for serious business, yeah. And seriously, we are going to be granting. There's going to really be light into lots of stuffs. So right now we will start with networking, yeah. So right now, I want everybody to really introduce themselves. Your name, your full name here, what you do, anything you want us to know about you. then your social media handles. The reason I'm saying this, and the reason why I consider networking as a very, very important aspect of whatever you are doing, is that you really do not know who exactly is in the room with you. You do not know who exactly is just, I mean, in this same session with you. Somebody might have been in search of someone in your sector, or someone who can help with a task, or somebody that they can refer, or maybe an opportunity that they've even seen somewhere, but they do not really know who exactly to channel it to. So I'll just really advise that right now, quickly, it has to be very, 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 very fast. Your name, what you do or what you want us to know about, your interest, then your social media handle. So that if anybody wants to like check you out on social media, they can easily do. And then it will definitely share it on the screen here so everybody can also see it. Okay, so I think let us start. For me, yeah, my social media handles. I know that some of us know a little about me, but if you want to really know more about me, you can just go to my link tree here, and you'll see more about me. Let me see. Let me have some stuff in the comments. Let me see if um okay, okay. I'm waiting for our comments. I'd like to really see our comments. Your just a short introduction, who exactly you are, what are your interests, what you are probably working on, or even what exactly you're expecting to gain in tonight's session. Then your social media handles, if you're comfortable sharing them. Okay. Yeah, so I would really be on the lookout for the comments, and would share. Oh, sorry. So yeah, let me add this. Okay, so I'm still really on the lookout for the comments. I mean, for our introductions now. I know you might be trying to type. Might be trying to type, so I know that that might take a few minutes, but I'm really still on the lookout. But I think I can just start with other things, and then but I think I can just go into other things, and then I can come back to the introductions. I think you're fine, should be fine with that. Yep. So let me start with 24 principles in 24 years. What I've been able to learn, things I'm working on. Yeah, no one is there yet. I mean, we are still on the journey of growth, but I feel like I've really had some very significant moments in my life that I really would love people to, I mean, get strength from, people to get a thing or the other from. And I strongly believe in the fact, or yeah, in the principles that you don't necessarily have to like go through certain situations or certain experience before you learn. You can learn from people who have gone ahead, and then you can easily, yeah, you can learn from people who have gone ahead so that you don't make those same mistakes and you can have a smoother path, right? I can see my brother is here. Hi, big bro. Thanks for joining. Welcome. Okay, so I can see, yeah, yeah, Abraham Oluwole Fadri coming. So yeah, I can see Oluwole Fajri. Yeah, he's from IFA, he's a student. And then he's currently studying electrical engineering. So he's Oluwole Fajri on LinkedIn. So you could check him up if you would really want to. Yeah, and you could also like send him a connection. Okay, I can see Victor here. Victor, okay, has the same handles for his TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay, he has 13K followers on TikTok. All right, so we have some celebs here. That's nice. Okay, and he's still growing and he's interested in content creation. Oh, very, very nice. Very nice. Okay, so at least if anyone is looking for a content creator here, they already know that's I mean you are a potential for them. Okay, I think I would, as other comments come up, I would share them, but I would just go straight into other stuffs. Yeah. So I have this, and this is the first principle that I really want to share with us. Yeah, the first principle that I want to share with us, and is the principle of divine heritage. I'll try as much as possible to simplify matters or to simplify things so that it doesn't look so ambiguous. But at the core of everything I do in my life is God. And at the core of every single thing that I have become and every single thing that I will become is in Him. So when I talk about divine heritage, I believe that, and I have lived a life where I am totally surrendered to God and I'm very, very vulnerable with Him. I know that, and I know that many of us would have heard that, okay, yes, for you to find your purpose, you need to know God because God is the one who created you and cannot, find your purpose or live your purpose without He who is the creator or He who is the manufacturer, right? So, but for me, it's actually more of a very, very personal relationship. It's more of a very, very personal decision, right? To really following Him. Because few weeks ago, I was telling myself, I was like, without God or without Jesus, I am nothing, basically. I'm nobody. There's nothing I will do. I'll be doing rubbish, right? So there is that place of really knowing the art of God, knowing what exactly God wants you to do, and then enjoying His promises. I know that many of us, right? Many of us might be Christians here, but more than you going to church or more than you even reading the scriptures is that you actually let those stuffs come alive to you. You let them you imbibe them, you live that life, and then you are experiencing what exactly God wants you to. You are experiencing that heaven on earth. So the principle of divine heritage is a very, very, very big one for me, and my life goes around it. Every single thing I do, my purpose, my impact, my selflessness, my failures, every single thing you just go with it, right? So when anything happens, I know who to run to, I know the first person to speak with, and I also know His promises. I know what He has promised me, and I'm definitely sticking to them, and I'm definitely living in that reality. So it's really about knowing God. Then the other thing I want to talk about is the principle of significance. The principle of significance. And when I talk about this principle of significance, I'm talking about purpose. I'm talking about living more for yourself. I'm talking about um having coming. I'm talking about um thinking about a legacy that you want to really, really leave behind when you are away, when you are gone, when you are no more, when you have, gone to eternity, basically. What exactly do you want to live for? What exactly, who are you? What's your life purpose? What's your life statement? What is making your life significant, right? So I know that for many of us, or let me say in the general world, basically, we have our ambition, we have our goals, we have things that we really, really want to do, which are very, very fine, very, very good, very, very awesome, right? But it's good that you have a vision for yourself that can actually outlive you. And I know that we're also in an era where many people really scam for money, they scam for wealth, they know they want to like get this at all costs, they want to just be themselves, right? They just want to acquire that wealth for themselves. But the thing I really, really believe in is that after you might have acquired your wealth, after you might have had that money, there is always that emptiness, or there is always that hole that fulfillment would fill. And so you should actually get to really understand why exactly you are here, what exactly you are meant to create. And I want you to really know that you are not just here to, go to school, give birth to children, work, and just go. No, your life really has a significance, and there's a reason why God has created you. There's a reason, there is a particular thing you should fulfill here. And until you actually find it, you might feel that emptiness inside of you. You might feel like, oh, there's a void there, that there is something you really, really still need to do. Okay, this is not a session to like really talk about how to like um get to know your purpose or different ways to, right? But I'm really letting you know that that has failed a lot of stuff that I do. And I think I would really start, I would want to give a little illustration concerning my life and my purpose in this case. When I was in JSS3, I said I was going to study French in the university. It was a little bit weird for me myself, right? And when I told my parents really were a little bit surprised, right? Because I had always wanted to like be a medical doctor all along. But they told me that they were going to pray about it, and my dad gave me some books to go read and all of that. And yeah, I knew that God really wanted me to like, go on that journey, even though I didn't know what exactly was going to be the end, right? I didn't know what exactly I was going to like face, though I had what I wanted to become at that time. And I told myself, okay, at least for the how will I call it? In the minimum, or at least this is what I would actually become, this is what I would actually do with this course, right? But God really, really had more. And as time went on, when I got to school, I've had more clarity, right, as to what exactly I need to do. And that has failed a lot of stuff. So it's really, really good that you know what exactly you are here, because that would determine lots of values that you have. That would determine the field or the sphere that you go to. That would determine the type of people you would meet, the type of people you will mingle with. That would determine the type of decisions you would make. Okay, that's very, 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 very important. Then the other thing I want to talk about, a life of significance, or the principle of significance, is that it's not about popularity. We are in a society, or we are at a time where people really celebrate what is popular, or what is being celebrated, or the person that actually has like thousands of followers and all of that. But let me really let you know that you have a role to play on the earth. And just like the parts of the body, there are some parts of the body that you see, there are some that you do not see. You can see the eyes, you can see the head, you can see the hands, you can see the legs, right? But you really do not see the kidney, you really do not see the intestines, and all of this work together. If there's a problem with the kidney, there's a problem with the intestine, then there'll be a problem with the whole body. So do not feel that being popular is what makes a person significant, and getting external accolades. No, that's not what really makes a person significant. What makes a person significant is really knowing where the person should be, what the person should be doing, and the person is really, really doing it. Right? That is what really brings that inner fulfillment. Am I saying that you should not aspire to do great things? Am I saying that you should not aspire to have more followers? Am I saying that you should just stay in your little corner? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm telling you that what you should chase after, what should be your priority, shouldn't be popularity or what people would say, or accolades, but really you doing what exactly you need to do. As much as we all want to go global, we all want to, many people want to like go get to the United Nations. Everybody just wants to go to the United Nations. But if everybody gets to the United Nations, who would actually work in Nigeria? Who would actually work in Algeria? Who would be there at Angola, right? But the thing is that we are being placed at different sectors. And do not also think that a particular course or a particular field has more relevance than the other. Do not think that, okay, medical doctors are more prominent, or they are more skilled, or they are more important than teachers, or than biochemists, or than microbiologists. Or don't think that, okay, engineers are more they are more relevant than people who probably study some, in quotes, what we consider as not popular courses. Let me tell you, every single person has their significance. Or even farmers, if everybody becomes a doctor, or everybody becomes a real estate owner, who would actually be there? Getting and then farming, right, and feeding the nation basically. But what you really need to know is, when you actually know where exactly you've been called to, try your best to be the best of yourself, the best version of yourself. Know what exactly God would have you do there. And you can be a farmer and you can be a millionaire, right? It doesn't mean that every farmer has to be poor. No, you just need to like banish some certain mindsets and position yourself for greatness in whatever field that you might have, that you are in, or in whatever quest that you might be pursuing. So we have Whitney here. Hi Whitney, welcome. It's great to have you. Whitney is a graduate of sociology and anthropology, and yeah, she's a content writer, open to broadening our horizons to new opportunities. Welcome, Whitney. And yeah, I can really testify to that. Whitney is one of our volunteers at Art and Healing Therapy, and she's one of our writers too. And I worked with her on what's it called, on a team, and I must really say that she's very, 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 very good. So you can check her out, and yeah, you can connect with her. Welcome, Whitney. Okay, so I think I have a comment here. Yeah, Rotimi, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, Dimeji is here. Okay, so Dimeji is here. Hi, Dimeji. Welcome. It's great to have you here. Hope you are good. Yeah, so I've talked about that principle of significance. So significance is not about popularity, it's not about who is being celebrated. It's about you protecting your core, you knowing who exactly you are, and in whatever area you are being the best version of yourself, and you are doing what exactly you need to do. Okay. Yeah, so the principle of a higher life, the principle of a higher life, that's the other principle I have here. Yeah. And what do I mean by the principle of a higher life? Yeah, I'm going to talk about goals. It is the quest to really wanting more. It's the quest to knowing that your vision needs a higher version of yourself. And for you to be able to enter into it, for you to be able to function well in that capacity, there is a level you must actually attain. Now, let me break this down so that we get to understand and it doesn't look like, okay, this is one Barbara stuff. Now, you probably have a sense of the future. You want to do something for Nigeria, you want to do something for Africa, or you want to even do something for the world, right? If you're looking at that person that you're trying to picture in the future, that person has that type of person, let me put it in that way, that type of person would have certain potentials, that type of person would have certain capacities, that type of person will have certain insights, that type of person will have a level of life degree that will be able to manage and capture that vision and work perfectly in it. So when you realize that, then you actually get to a stage of life when you're uncomfortable with where you are, and you know that there is actually more, there's more you need to do, there's more you need to achieve. I know you need to leave your comfort zone. So for me, I would say that I think some people are here. Yeah, I Samuel, great to have me here. So my prof is here. Prof Saeed, welcome, and it's so great to have you here, sir. Okay, so for me, I would say that I started growing in 2019. I used to be a very, very extreme introvert. But 2019, late 2019, I told myself that I had more inside of me. And I'll say this in Yoruba. And that phrase really stood for me then. And it's that Kama Kima Fiara Sinuku. It just means that you have a lot of stuff inside of you, but when you do not show them first, people outside will not be able to benefit from them. People outside will not get blessed from them, and you're just going to stay in that little corner that you are. So I decided, and I told myself, I was seeing a lot of stuff that I wasn't really comfortable with around me, and I told myself that I actually have little things that I can actually contribute. I know these things, but I just keep to myself. I don't talk, and so I decided that enough was enough. I decided that no, it was time for me to like go higher. I decided that okay, it was time for me to do better. So that time I told myself I was really going to get out of my comfort zone. And so in 2020, I started my series on my Instagram handle. And then the first month I tweeted a topic on understanding people understanding themselves, why there are lots of issues in with people's relationships and all of that. And so I talked about that. Then the second month too, I tweeted a topic, a lady, I love her and a lot. Then the third month I talked about purpose. And for me, I would really say that because I God saw that okay, he's like this guy is now like very, very serious with our goals. And that was when COVID set in and God brought in some resources along my way. I was really, really, I'm really here. Yeah, I really must give a shout out to Sister Fikemi. Then that was when I got to know the DK. I went on our courses. I had higher insights. I was able to like do lots of meditation and journaling and all of that. And that was really, really like a launch for me, right? And since then, I've always like wanted more. I've always like wanted more. I've always like wanted more, because if you are going higher, if you have a greater vision, then you must grow into that capacity, into the capacity that can bear it, so that you don't crush, right? And that's why you get some people. That's why you see some people who actually get particular positions and they are not effective, they are not active, they are not doing what exactly they ought to do, because even though they have that vision, they've not built that capacity, the emotional intelligence, the intellectual capacity, the knowledge, and all of that they really, really need to. I think time is really going, and I need to be fast. But yeah, we have Miss Mercy here. She's a counselor and postgraduate student of gender and development studies. She's an event host and presenter, and she loves to promote gender equality and support individuals through counseling. So nice to have you here, Miss Mercy. You could share your social media handles so that people could communicate with you. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. I really, really appreciate this. So my dad is here. This is my dad. Shout out to you, Daddy. Thank you so much for joining. So I love you. Okay, let's continue. So that's the principle of a higher life. And then the next is the principle of the people pulse. The principle of the people pulse. And I'm going to try to be fast with this. And what do I mean by people pulse? It's really understanding the place of people in your life and understanding the different dimensions of people that you need. Some people are mentors, some people are teachers, some people are coaches, some people are firelighters, some people are encouragers, right? There are different sets of people that you actually need as a person, right, for you to be able to really function well, for you to be able to see a lot of stuff. Now, an encourager is different from a firelighter. A firelighter is a person who sparkles things up in you. The person sees a particular potential that you're probably not using, and then the person fuels it up. The person probably tells you about it, or the person takes you up on a course, or the person shares an opportunity with you, or the person just sparkles it up, right? A coach is more of a person who tells you, oh, these are steps that you need to take, right? These are the things that you need to do. You have probably a session with such a person. The person tells you, okay, these are the steps you need to take. The person is accountable with you. The person follows you on your goals, but the person is more of like a higher teacher that has a higher authority over your goals, right? And then when you talk about mentors, with them you have more cordial relationships, right? You can easily approach them, they share their experiences, so it's more cordial, okay? And then you have encouragers, you have people who when you are down, you can easily reach out to, right? So you need to really, really know these people. You have people who are more of activators, you have people who are more of builders. There are certain people that are best to call when you have a particular work to do, when you know that, okay, you have a project to achieve, you know that they are very, very good in it. They may not be good encouragers, right? They may not be good firelighters, right? So you really need to know to understand the dimensions or the type of people you really need in your life and be able to maximize those people. Many of us have those people around us, but we have not seen those potentials in them and we've not been able to like maximize them. So you can tell a person, oh, I realize that you do this. Can you help me on this? Can you be my accountability partner on this? Or when you probably have a particular and you know exactly what to actually reach out to. So that's the principle of the people pulse. Okay, I am really running out of time, but I'm going to try to be faster. So the next principle I'll talk about is the principle of meditation and evaluation. And I would say that this works a whole lot of time. Most times we are humans, but we are busy with the outer world. We are so busy with the noise outside that we do not sit with ourselves to really tell ourselves the truth, to plan, to say, oh yes, this is where I'm doing well, this is where I'm not doing well, this is the area I need to improve on, and this is how I would need to like move from this level that I am to the other. So personally, I love to have a lot of meditations. When things are not going well, I go for my meditations. I just think about it. So when you feel like things are not going well with you, the next thing, what you need to do is not just to continue, right? Not just to continue on that path, not just to behave like things are working fine. No, that's not what you need to do. What you really need to do is to sit back, analyze the situation. What exactly caused this? Why is this really, really happening? And then you ask, okay, what is the way forward? How am I going to ensure that this does not happen again? Or okay, did I use some strategies that probably did not work? Okay, was it that I also reached out to somebody that I did not reach out to? Okay, was it that I did it in a way that it did not really do, or that was not really like perfect? So it's really good that you have meditations. Then evaluations are also very, very good. For me, at the end of every year, I have evaluations, and during my birthdays too, I have evaluations. And I have evaluations on different aspects of my life. I have evaluations on my growth. I try to analyze how much I've grown that year. And when you're analyzing your growth, you're saying, okay, how is my thinking like? How is my intelligence like? How much of wisdom have I accumulated more in this year? How much, and then you're talking about your emotional intelligence. Okay, how much have I been able to like deal with emotions? How much have I been able to like deal with odds from people, responses from people, situations that are happening around? You're asking yourself all of that. You're asking yourself how you have actually even acted, or how your finances has been, right? If you have been comfortable during the year, or and what exactly caused your comfortability, or what did not cause it, and then you are trying to like analyze it. You are trying to analyze your relationships with people, how you've been able to do, if you really did well, if not, and how to like go forward. You're analyzing your goals. If you set goals at the beginning of the year, you are saying, okay, was I able to really, really achieve these goals? What made me achieve them? What did not make me achieve them? What am I going to really do differently? Right, even in your spiritual growth, you are saying, okay, yes, at this time, okay, did I really move closer to God? Was I really consistent in my devotion and all of that? And then you are really able to say, okay, yes, I think I need to improve on this aspect, or I think this happened because of this. And then you also revealing your failures. Okay, why did I fail at this point? Why did I have this particular disappointment? In what areas can I really, really, really improve on? I'm talking also about your health. Okay, did I forsake at any point in this year? Okay, was I really, really stressed out? What really caused it? So you don't just go on with life. You don't just go on with the flow. And then you don't just continue to listen to what people say outside. Because most times we it's good to go for courses, it's good to go for seminars, it's good to go for conferences. Very, very, very good, because they are a very, very good catalyst for your growth, right? But after you've gone for these conferences, after you've gone for these seminars, it's good that you actually sit back with yourself, digest whatever you have learned, and then say, okay, how am I going to apply these principles that I have learned to my life to make my life better? When people read books too, when you are saying you are reading books, you're not just saying that, oh yes, I was able to read 16 books this year, I was able to read 17 books this year. But then how much have those books transformed you? How much have they increased your capacity, right? How much of a better person have you become with those books? You need to really, really evaluate and meditate on these things so that you can really, really move forward. Okay. All right. And the next principle I have here is the principle of sincerity. And I'll really say something, and it's that to yourself be true. To yourself be true. You don't need to form. Most times we try to act like we are fine when we are not fine. Most times we try to act like everything is going fine when everything is not going fine. Yeah, I mean, we want to like really prove like a strong person. You don't really want people to know what exactly is happening with you. That's fine. But in your core of core, in your room, in your closet, who exactly are you? Are you being sincere with yourself? You really know the things that you are doing right and the things that are doing wrong? And are you telling yourself the truth? Some of us really know the truth, but we don't tell ourselves the truth. And it really affects us on the journey of growth. It really affects the way we are able to respond to situations. It affects the way we even think about ourselves, right? So it's very, very good that you are really, really sincere with yourself. That for me is very, very important. Then the other thing I want to talk about is the principle of uniqueness. The principle of uniqueness. It's very, very good that you know that you are you. You are you, right? You are not somebody else. And you should not compare yourself to somebody else. Even if the person is your classmate, or the person is your brother, or the person is your sister, know that you are different. You're on a unique path. Now, one of the things I would say I have realized to myself is that I really do not do what people would seemingly call common. And for me, sometimes it can even, I mean, sound weird, but I just know that if this is who I am, then I'm actually going to go along with it. And I'm not going to let what people say, I'm not going to let societal standards define me, or box me into who I should not be. Okay. So when I'm saying that you are unique or I am unique, I'm trying to say that there is that thing inside of you that makes you stand out than somebody else, right? And so you don't need to compete with anybody. Yoruba says that, okay, ojú ọ̀run tó ẹyẹ fò. It means that there is space for everybody. The universe is so vast, And God has granted us all potentials that we would actually use to survive and thrive well. So you don't need to compare yourself with another person. Even if you guys are in the same field, you definitely have different strategies for you to be able to achieve whatever you need to achieve. You have different strategies for you to do whatever you need to do, right? So you don't have any business competing yourself or competing with another person. Know that you are on different journeys. Your growth levels are different, right? So you don't even need to compare yourself at all. Know that you are unique, and if what you are even doing so does not really seem popular, it seems weird, people do not understand, you still go on that journey. I remember when we started without as therapy, and I was really trying to like let some hospital officials understand and all of that. They did not get it, right? It sounded weird. And when I decided to like okay go for French, it sounded weird because I mean it was not common. I had the teacher who told me not to put all my eggs in a basket and all of that. But I decided that okay, if I am the only person that will do this, then I will do it. And when I got to SS2, SS3, I was the only person that my teacher was teaching in class, right? So, but I felt like if this is my path, and if I'm the only one that would go on it, then I would actually go on it. Okay, so it is very, 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 very important. Then the other thing I also want to talk about uniqueness is that you need to. I'll talk about this in relation to God, and you need to know that your relationship with God is unique. Do not define yourself with societal standards or what people seemingly tag to be spirituality. Know how God is with you, know your relationship with Him, and ensure that you stick with it. The next principle I have here is the principle of impact. The principle of impact. The principle of impact. And one of the things I've told myself, one of the life anchors I've had is to make the world better than I met it. Right. And I always want to just, as much as possible, as well with all that lie in me, just want to make a difference. Right. And I think this is also very, very important that you do. And I want to really let you know that you don't need to be a founder, you don't need to be the person who would spearhead an organization or who would lead a project before you actually make impact. I want you to know that if you're a team member, you are making impact. If the organization has recorded a success because you contributed, you have also made success. You have also made that impact, right? So it is not you don't need to like say that oh I'm a team member. It is the founder that they are celebrating. Let me tell you, every single person on the team is very, 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 very important, and they all have their significance. They all have what they need to do. If the operations manager is not working, there is nothing that will work, right? If the person that wants to design graphics in an organization decides not to design graphics, no matter what they are planning, nobody would actually hear about it. So every single person has their work, every single person has their significance. If a writer decides not to do his or her work, I mean, how would captions come out? Will they just share those graphics? So I want you to know that you are making impact no matter what you are doing, no matter how little it might seem to people, you are making that impact. And let that give you fulfillment, let that give you joy. And do not be carried away with noises. Do not feel like, oh, people are not celebrating me like this person. Know that if you have been called to a particular field or to a particular position or to a particular task, just do it to the best of your ability. Okay, then the next is the principle of trumpet blowing. Now, I really don't know if this is the best word to use, right, for trumpet blowing. But what I mean is, no one might, don't let me say will, but let me use the, I want to be very careful in choosing my words now. No one might carry your matter on their head like you. And what else do I want to say again? My mom is here. Hi, mommy. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I love you. Okay, so the principle of trumpet blowing. And what do I mean by that? When it's good that you build your social portfolio as a person. One of the things I really, really hold in high esteem is that you do what you need to do. And what do I mean by that? If you're a leader, you perform your tasks, you perform effectively, right? You satisfy your conscience, not only satisfy your conscience, but you perform up to expectation according to the task or according to the position that you are, according to what is expected of you, right? And that's very, 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 very key. But also, it is good that you let the world begin to know what exactly you are into so that you begin to build that social portfolio for yourself. Am I saying that everybody? Am I saying that is it all things that everybody posts online that is correct or that is true? I'm not saying it is yes. It might be no, right? But if you are doing something in your sphere, if you are doing something in your field, and you are not putting it out there, nobody would know. And on the day that you probably need a recommendation, or somebody needs something for, or someone needs somebody for something, and they're trying to like look for someone, they would not see you because you've not like built that social portfolio. And it doesn't matter about people liking or people commenting. People may not even like, well, whether you know it or not, somebody is seeing it, and you're even building it for the future. You are building sort of a track record for yourself. So if you're a volunteer, begin to let people know that, oh yes, you're volunteering with this organization and this is how you are helping them, right? Let them know that, oh yeah, this is what you have been able to add to yourself. These are the values you have added to yourself. These are the skills that you have. And people are beginning to note all of those things. So when the time comes and you need to like really showcase your portfolio, and people want to say, okay, what have you even worked on? You can, I mean, people might even say, oh yes, I know that Whitney works on so and so. They can easily recommend you or even need it yourself. Okay, so I think that is like very, 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 very important. Even if you are running a non-profit organization, and I know some of you may want to say, okay, yes, I want to do it for God. I'm not saying you should not do it for God, right? You can do it for God. I know you don't want people to like really, really praise you and all of that, but it's good that you actually build your social portfolio so that when needs arises and they need to like make reference to it or make reference to what you are doing, they know where to go and they know who exactly to contact. Yeah. Then the next is the principle of seasons. And I'll say this has really been a very, very good anchor for me. And what do I mean by this? It's really knowing what exactly I should be doing. It's really knowing the stage of life that I am in, what exactly I should be doing, where I should be, and how I should be doing what I should be doing, or with whom I should be doing. And I feel like it's really, 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 really important that you really know this. When I was in school, I knew the season of life that I knew what exactly I should be my focus at that time. So there were certain things I did not focus on, and I did not let it get at me because I knew that it was not just for the season. So even when I saw other people out there that were doing great things in that sphere, I knew that it was not just my season, and so I was not pressured at all. So if you're a student, you should know the season of life you're in. And then even apart from being a student or being a graduate and all of that, there are certain times that you know that no, at this period or in this period of my life, this is what I should really, really be focusing on. For instance, when I was in school, I really did not do business during the session, or let me say during the semesters. Most of the times I used to push them towards I used to do them more during the holidays. And even when I was in part two, there was time I started breaking. And what I did then was I was only breaking during the weekends, right? And when I was in part two, during my last year, that was last year, during my final year, I just had 3 goals, right? And so I forwent other things. I forwent a lot of stuff because I knew that at that season, I knew what I wanted and I knew what my priorities were, and I knew sacrifices I needed to make, and I knew what I ought to focus on. So it's really good that you really know the season of life you are in. If you are a postgraduate student, you are a graduate already, you should know that, okay, if I get to NYC, you know that it's actually a season of life that you should take seriously. What should you be doing at this time? You should already begin to like prepare yourself for the workspace. How is your CV? Your CV okay? Have you like built your LinkedIn, right? Are you taking courses? Do you have you like volunteered? Do you have experiences? If you've not done all of those things, this is actually a very, very good time for you too. So you need to like really know the seasons of life you're in and know what exactly you should be doing in those seasons. It will really help you, and it will make you not to look at what other people are doing, because you know that you are on your journey and this is what you should be doing at this time, and you won't feel pressured. Okay. Next, principle of ordinariness. Yes, principle of ordinariness. And what do I mean by this principle? It is you knowing that no matter who you become, no matter who you are, no matter what the word says about you, you are still a human being. You're still a human being with a head. You're still a human being with 10 fingers. You're still a human being with 2 ears. You're still a human being, and it shouldn't be difficult for anybody to be able to approach you or greet you or tell you good morning or even pour out their minds to you. And I think that principle is a very, 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 very good one. You should know that no matter the stage you are in life, you're still somebody's daughter, right? You are still a person that somebody can still call and say, okay, help me do this thing, right? You are not putting, or you are not letting whatever accolades or whatever achievement you might have had to enter your head, right? You are still knowing that you are still human and you are still ordinary at the end of the day. Okay. Next one would be the principle of failure. The principle of failure. And what do I mean by this? This year I would really say that I've had a lot of setbacks, I've had a lot of failures, I've had a lot of disappointments, I've had a lot of, bad goals, situations, right? And I really learned to know that this comes with life. So when you are facing a particular setback in life, you are facing things that are really, really not going well. Do not feel like, oh, it's like this is the end of life, or what exactly is wrong with me, or is it that village people are chasing me about, or and all of that. Know that failure is actually really part of life, and disappointment is part of life. I faced one. I This year has just been a roller coaster of a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot. But one of the things I have learned I've learned is developing mental capacity for you to be able to still show up for yourself and show up for the things that matter, even with everything that you are going through, even with everything that you are going that's actually really, really happening around you. And then you also need to know that the higher your vision, the higher your aspirations, the more failures you would get, because it's definitely not normal or definitely not ordinary. So you might have different tries. Some people may not even believe in you. There are so many, and there's a quote that says that pain, right, is the breakfast of heroes. Before you see many people who are like great people, they have actually had lots of times that they weren't really considered to be great, or they had lots of setbacks and failures. So really know that it's part of life, right? It's not absurd, but you also need to also still sit back and analyze the situation. Okay, what exactly made me fail? Was it that I did not prepare enough? Okay, was it that I should have done something better? Was it that I didn't apply for this thing early? Right? It's also good that you actually really, really analyze it, but do not feel like, oh, once you have failed, it means that there's something, or there's something that is wrong with you. It's not really like that. Then the next is the principle of fitness. The principle of fitness, and also this is what I have like upheld to. One of my life goals or my life aims is to actually be fit. So I feel like I really not like put that aspect of my life really on social media, but it's the aspect of you saying that yes, I still want to even still stay fit, even in the world, right? You doing your exercises regularly, minding what exactly it's trying to like check up on yourself, check up on your health, and just being good. That principle of fitness is very, very important. So that when you get to that stage where you're achieving your purpose, you also have the health to really, really sustain yourself. And you have that health for you to be able to, live long and then really do the things that really, really matter to you. Okay, I'll talk about the principle of no now. And I know that this is actually one that might be very, very difficult for some of us to do. You really do not want people to say that, oh, you are snubbing them, or you don't want to help them, or you are beginning to get proud and all of that. But there are times that you need to understand that it's not every offer that you say yes to. And you should also know that if anything would make you offend yourself, if anything at the end of the day would make you regret taking an action, or make you reduce your integrity as a person, then it's best that you actually not get into it. For instance, if you're a business person and you know that, or somebody is giving you an order that you'll not be able to like deliver to time, right? I know that somebody, thank you so much, Rotimi, thank you for that. I know that somebody's giving you an order that you'll not be able to like deliver to time. It's best that you tell them that because of the time frame, you'll not be able to work on it, rather than you saying, okay, yes, you're going to take it on, and then you're not able to like deliver to time. And the person that begins to talk, and your reputation is being soiled. So there are times I need to say no, or maybe when you realize, okay, you are probably choked with something and somebody's trying to tell you to probably do a particular thing for them. It's not that I don't want to do it, but at that time, because of what's exactly happening, it just goes like politely say no, or even, and better still, provide solutions to those people so that they don't feel like you don't just want to help them. But to yourself, be true, and do not ensure that you do not please people and offend yourself. Okay. Then the next principle I have here is this principle of reasonability. The principle of reasonability. One of the things I've seen on social media is that, sorry to say, many people do not really think about what they are talking about, or better still, I know that the word truth is relative. What people consider to be wise is relative. What people consider to be reasonable is relative. But at the same time, there are certain things that as humans, you really know that is actually wrong or should not be so. right? So there are times that you even act in certain ways, and you know that if you would choose to really be sincere with yourself and you ask yourself, you know that you tell yourself that, oh no, I did not really do well in this area, right? Or when maybe argument comes up with certain people, there are times that you know clearly that no, you were at fault. Just best that you just admit it and let things go, instead of you trying to still prove wise, even in these seemingly or the evidently known situation, right? So that principle of reasonability is one that is like very big for me too. And then the other one I want to talk about is the principle of unfamiliarity. The principle of unfamiliarity. And what would I really say about this? What will I want to say about this? And it's that when you are treating people, when you are talking with people, it's good that you actually understand situations. It's good that you understand environments. It's good that you understand what formality is. It's good that you understand respect. I've seen certain people in office situations and they just like talk to others like they are their colleagues, or they are their friends, or they are their juniors, right? It's very, 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 very important that you understand the principle of unfamiliarity. You understand how to communicate. You understand how to treat people in high positions, so that they do not think that you are being disrespectful, and they do not think that you are trying to abuse the access that you have to them. That principle of unfamiliarity is one that you should really, really uphold. Then the other one is the principle of non-people pleasing, and this for me is also very big. I mean, all these principles are really, really big for me. But the principle of non-people pleasing is also like very big. And what do I mean by this? I do not offend myself because I want to please a person. I do not do the things I want to do because I want people to praise me. I do not do the things I want to, or I do not do the things I do because I want to look good in face of people. I do not do the things I do because I want to look like a good person. No, I do the things I do because they are the things I need to do. And so I do the things I do, not because of what I would seemingly get out of it. No. So it's good that you know that you learn not to please people. And another thing that is very important to know is that you cannot please everyone. So if you're a people pleaser, you would realize that you would not be able to stand for yourself. You would not be able to stand on your ground. You will not be able to say that, oh yes, this is what I want to do and I'm standing by it. And when you take this area and somebody would, I mean, someone would accuse you of taking that or taking to that aspect, and if you turn again, another person would also accuse you. So you really just need to know what exactly you want, your values, what exactly you want to stand for, and you actually stand by them. You do not do whatever you do to please anyone, but definitely to know that yes, what you are doing is right, and you just carry on. The next thing again is the principle of sacrifice. As much as I've talked about the principle, I know that you might be thinking, okay, she talked about not people pleasing, right? And now she's talking about sacrifice. But it's really, really what I would say is that there is a way to actually bridge the gap, and there's a way to act with wisdom. For me, I would say that I've sacrificed quite a number of things for a number of courses, for things that are my passion, for these things, for courses that I really, really uphold, right? So there's that really principle of sacrifice that many people even did not see, that many people do not know about, but that are very, 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 very evident. So I really want to say that there are times that you need to sacrifice for your growth. There are times that you need to sacrifice for the things that matter to you. There are times that your bank account might go red because of certain things. There are times that you would need to, not be comfortable, burn the midnight oil, or even try to like help somebody because you know this person really, really needs this help at this particular time. Not because it is convenient, but because you really want to see a higher version of yourself, or you really want to make a mark in someone's life. So there is also that principle of sacrifice, and it's very, very profound for me. Then the next is the principle of values. For me as a person, I believe that you should actually have certain things that you stand for in life, so that you don't fall for everything that comes your way. You should have certain principles that you would not bend. You should have certain things that when some offers probably come your way, you don't even need to pray. You don't even need to like ask for you don't need to ask for advice. You already know that they are a complete no, because they negate your call. They negate who exactly you are. They negate where you are going. They negate who you actually profess to be. So it's good that you have your values, you have your boundaries, and you really, really stick by them. Very, 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 very good and important. Then the next is the principle of clarity. And what would I say in this? Is that most times when we talk about purpose, when we talk about progress, when we talk about process, right? It's not that you know what exactly you want to achieve at the end of the day. It's not that you see a clear picture. Yes, you have a vision of what is to come, but you cannot see that this is exactly and this is where I would exactly be in the next 50 years or in the next 40 years. You just have a glimpse. You just have you just have an idea of what it would be. But when you start on the journey, you begin to get clarity. As I said, when I was in JS3 and I wanted to study French, and my parents agreed. When I got into the university, I realized I could combine with Portuguese, right? And I combined with Portuguese now. Maybe because of studying Portuguese, I got more insight and I knew, okay, yes, this is what exactly I want to like do in this, right? And so I am getting more clarity as I'm going on. So clarity does not come before you start. Clarity comes when you enter, and then you begin to like see different shapes, and you are saying that, oh yes, I think I love this as well. I think I cannot do this, or I think I can do this for a long time, or I think I do not even see myself in this at all. So there is that principle of clarity that comes when you are on the process. Yeah. So and that's very, very important. Then the other is the principle of affirmation. Principle of affirmation is also one that is very, 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 very solid. One that is very, 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 very solid. You need to have that those principle of affirmations. And for me, I believe that there's power in the tongue. Whatever you say actually comes true, right? And even if you cannot see a particular version of yourself that you want to, you cannot see that higher version, you cannot see what exactly you want in the future, but you know that this is the reality that you want. You begin to confess them, you begin to say them into your life, you begin to say them loudly. I am a very, very big fan of affirmations. I'm a very, very big fan of confessions, right? And I have different of them. So it's also good that you really, 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 really do. And if you've not started, it's very, 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 very good that you do. Okay. The next one I have here is coming. The principle of emptiness. The principle of emptiness. And what do I mean by the principle of emptiness? It's that at the end of my life, I just want to be able to say that yes, I have done everything that I ought to have done. Right. As much as I do not pray for death, even at this stage of my life, right? I feel like even if I die today, I know that I've done what I need to do, at least as at this stage that I am. So I'm not having any regrets. I'm not saying, oh, I wish I should have done this or I should have done that. I know that, okay, yes, I'm trying my best to do what I should do at this time. And even if I go at any time, I know that I have laid a mark that I should have laid, and that is it. So that's principle of emptiness at each time, so that you do every single thing that you ought to do in life, and it's counted to you that yes, you have actually tried your best. Okay, so I think right now, somebody said, yeah, you cannot please everyone. Yeah, sure, you can't. You definitely cannot please everyone. You definitely cannot please everyone. So I think it's now time for Q&As, but let me really know what exactly stood out for you from the 24 lessons or 24 principles. Let me know what really, really stood out for you. Let me know what really stood out for you. Let me know what really stood out for you before I go into questions. And when I got those questions, I was like, okay, yes. I mean, we are really here for serious business. Yeah, but let me know what thing do you think you have even begun to do, even with these principles. There are some of them I know that you might have, like, I mean, been doing on your own part, right? And there are some that you might feel like, okay, you need to like still work on, or you need to like improve on. Let me just know. I'd like to really see that. Okay, so Christiana says clarity does not come before I start. Clarity comes by engaging in what I have to do. Yeah, sure. And that is very, very, very big. That's very big. So it's when you start that you begin to see and you begin to sift. Yeah, you begin to sift a lot, and then you begin to say, okay, yes, I want to do this. Okay, yes, I don't want to do this. Okay. Let me see if there's any other comment before we go. Okay. I want to be sure I talked about everything I ought to talk about. But if there's any other thing I want to talk about here, I'm still waiting for our comments before we go into the Q&As. I want us to be done here by 9:30, right? And that's just about 24 minutes more. Okay, so Abraham says the principle of divine heritage and significance. That's our life. Our life is of utmost significance. Yeah, true. And for me, it's you being so vulnerable with God, yeah, and you knowing that you are here for more. You are here for your life has real significance, and you are not just here to pass time. There is really, really more about you. Okay. I think I didn't talk about a particular principle that I need to talk about. I think I didn't talk about it, yeah. And I think it's the principle of self-identity. Yeah. It's the principle of self-identity. And what would I talk about self-identity? It's about you knowing yourself. I talked about you being true to yourself, right? So it's about you really, really knowing yourself, being self-aware, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, knowing the things you are good at, knowing the things you are not good at, knowing your having your personal vision statement, having to say that okay, yeah, this is who I am and this is what I want to do, right? And then knowing areas you need to improve on your life, right? Knowing areas you need to like maximize, knowing areas you need to delegate, knowing areas you need to like just do different things. It's very, very good that you have that self-identity and you're able to really, really maximize yourself, right? And you're not letting what people say define you. You're not letting what somebody says enter into your head and begin to get you and be your reality, but you're saying that this is who exactly I am, and so that conditions your emotions, it conditions you psychologically. So even if what you are saying, even if the results you are saying, even if what people are saying does not really match it, you know that no, this is exactly who I am and I'm going to really stand by it. Okay. All right. I think I have. Okay, the principles mentioned are 22 though. Thank you. I think I talked about one other. I talked about the principle of um, self-identity already. So I think it remains one, and I'm definitely going to get that. I'm definitely going to get that. I'm definitely going to get that. I want to be very coming. Okay, so I think yeah, so it remains one, and I'm going to talk about it. So someone has here, there are particular things to be done at particular stages in life. Yeah, the principle of season. Okay, that really stood out for praise, and that's for me. It stands out a whole lot. Stands out a whole lot, and the principle of emptiness really touched you. Okay, that's for Victor. Thank you, Victor. The principle of trumpet blowing. Is it teaching? Is it teaching to be an introvert? What about the say that a problem shared is half solved? Okay, I think I'm going to answer this as a question. I'm going to answer this as a question, but that's really not what that's really not what the trumpet blowing is about. So Mr. Timothy said, yeah, great point so far. So yeah, I think I get it now. The 24th principle is being true to yourself. Okay, Mr. Timothy said is another for him is being true to oneself rather. Okay, so the last principle that I think I did not put here is you striving for what you need to get. And I would say this. I think it's a principle that it took me a while to absorb, right? But it's one that I have had to come to realize. I've had to like sit myself down and talk to my body, my spirit, my soul, right? And say, no, if you really want to do this, you need to like strive for this. And I'm really going to talk to more of introverts in this um at this time. There are times that you know that okay, for you to get to this particular level or for you to get to this place, there are certain people you need to talk with, or there are certain people you need to meet. And then you are like, ah, but they are busy. And then you're like, but there are so many people around them. I don't want to feel like, okay, yes, I'm disturbing them, or I don't want to feel like this. And I feel like, oh, I know I ought to do this thing, but what if I get a no? Or what if it doesn't work that way? Because I am here to tell you that if you know that you really need to strive for a particular thing, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. So that in the nearest future, you do not wish that you did certain things that you did not do. I mean, yeah, you don't wish that you had done certain things that you did not do. Yes. If you know that you ought to have like met certain people and you did not meet them, I mean, you would actually be pained because you feel like, and if I had eventually just tried to meet this person, my life might have been better. For some people, it might have been that maybe you really look up to somebody in your particular, maybe in your particular field, and there maybe such a person even like came for a program or a seminar that I attended, but instead of you to like go and miss that person afterwards, just feel like, no, I'm not going, Jared. There will be so many people around that person, or I don't think this person will give me what's it called? Audience. And you just like withhold yourself from getting what you exactly need. Or you actually feel like, oh, and this is an opportunity that I should apply for. But I feel like there will be so many people that will apply for the opportunity. So I'm not even going to apply for it. After all, there is a probability that I will not get it. But there is also the fact that there is also the probability that you will get it. You actually have the probability that you'd actually get that opportunity, or you actually get to see that person, and your life can actually change forever. So the aspect of really striving for what exactly you want to is also one I think I missed. Okay, so let me quickly try to go over them. Let me go over them. So I've talked about you striving for what you need, or what you need to get. Yeah, and then I've talked about I've talked about excuse me. I've talked about the principle of emptiness. I've talked about the principle coming. Talked about the principle of affirmations, the principle of clarity, the principle of values, the principle of sacrifice, the principle of non-people pleasing, the principle of unfamiliarity, the principle of reasonability, the principle of saying no, the principle of fitness, the principle of failure, the principle of ordinariness, the principle of seasons, the principle of trumpet blowing, the principle of impact, the principle of uniqueness, the principle of sincerity, the principle of meditation or evaluation, the principle of self-identity, the principle of the principle of the people purpose, the principle of a higher life, the principle of significance, and the principle of divine advantage. Okay, so now we would go into Q and A's right here. Coming, I want to ensure that I have the right slide here. Okay. Um, thank you, Mr. Samuel. Yeah, so there are some questions I had from the Google form that we filled, so I'm going to answer them. But before that, let me answer. Okay, the principle from Victor. Victor talked about the principle of trumpet blowing. Is it teaching to be an introvert? What about you say that the problem shared is half solved? So I think you really did not get the principle of trumpet blowing that I talked about. So what I talked about is you exactly building your social portfolio as a person. And I'm saying that nobody might carry your matter on their head like you. That's what I'm trying to say. For instance, if you've actually done a particular thing, or you've added more skills to yourself, or you can do particular things, you have maybe a particular offer of particular value to like offer people, or you have particular things to do. If you don't put it out there, if you don't put it on your status, if you don't put it on your Instagram, if you don't put it on your LinkedIn, people will not know that you are doing these stuffs. If you run an organization or you run an NGO and people don't know what exactly you are doing, you will be doing it in your community, fine, people will be getting the lives of people will be changing, but you are not building that portfolio. They're not really letting people outside know that this is exactly what you are doing. And so when there are opportunities, or maybe you need to like make a particular reference, or maybe you even apply for a job and they are so yeah, send us your LinkedIn profile. I mean, they get there and they cannot see anything. There's no proof of what you are doing, even though you are doing them. That's what I'm trying to talk about, right? So I really don't get, is it teaching to be an introvert part? If you want to shed more light on that, you can, so that I can answer better. Okay, so I'm going to go into the questions. The questions. Uh, So quick one. The first I have here is before you graduated school, you were able to how were you able to balance your schoolwork, spiritual life, and art as a healing therapy? I remember that as healing therapy started while you were in school. How did you cope with the stress? Okay, so that's the first question, and I feel like I had quite a number of this question come in different ways, really. Now I would say something. I talked about you understanding the season of life you're in, but another thing I'll talk about is you maximizing time. And as I said, most of the things I did then were really done during my breaks or during times I was freer. And you'll need to understand yourself. That principle of self-identity is also would also come in here. You need to understand yourself. For me as a person, because I know what exactly I wanted to graduate with, I had my goals, I had my vision, I knew what I wanted, right? And I knew the sacrifice that I needed to pay for me to get what I wanted. So what did I do? I decided that one, I was not going to take any role or any task that would engage me for a long time. So what do I mean? I never applied for any political position because I know that okay, being maybe a secretary in my departmental what's it called body, or maybe being an ESCO will take you the whole session. That is you working for the whole session. And I knew that because of what I want to achieve, because I have my goal, because I know I want to graduate first class, I know I want to do well. I know that I may not be able to do that because I know my strength and I know how much I need to like put into studying. Okay, so I used to prefer to take one off tasks. I mean, I could probably be a secretary in maybe for an event, and I know that in 3 months or 4 months we are done planning, and I can get back to the other things I need to do, right? So I really do not take stuff for long term. Then I also try as much as possible to maximize my breaks. I talked about business, for instance. Even for my artworks, most of them were actually done during my breaks. And then I did a little too while I was in school, but I wasn't really, really prominent. And then I wasn't really, really loud about my business because I knew that if I was really loud and people really knew me, that I was doing this and that, I wouldn't be able to combine it with my academics. So it's about knowing your strengths, knowing what you can cope with. Then if you know that you're a person that really needs to only focus on your academics in school, for you to get what exactly you want, I would advise that you focus solely on your academics. And then when you are done after school, try as much as possible to put in all the energy and cater for all those things that you were not able to do in school, right? But the fact is that you still have some extra time that you can really use to like do a thing or the other. So you can volunteer for an event, you can volunteer for a project, right? All of these things do not really, really take time. And it's also a way for you to like build your CV, for you to like build yourself, gain skills, right? The program may just take just a day, right? You might have some trainings and then you have the program. And you add this to your CV that you're able to do them, right? It could be a project that may take maybe like 2 weeks and you are done with it, right? So it's not really about being engaged in school per se, right? And I never took a job because I knew already that I would not be able to. Then even when I went for my language immersion programs, I knew that my academics was core. So I had few job offers that wanted to like clash with my classes, and I knew that no, my classes were my priority. So I actually like what's called I did not go for them. So that really even made that time a little bit what's called difficult and all of that. But because I knew what I wanted, I was called I was focused on it. Then even for art as healing therapy. Now, excuse me, art as healing therapy. The first outreach of art and zen therapy was I was actually in school. I was a student at that time. At that time was really, really a lot for me. I was in part 3, but something helped me in that at that time, and it was that I had lesser academic workload. Right, I spent basically 5 academic years in the university, but that part 3 I had lesser academic workload, so it helped me to have been able to do other things, even though I did more than I should have done, right? But it helps me to have been able to do other things. For instance, for AST 2.0 now, AST 2.0 was in Badagry. That was immediately after my exams in Badagry. Immediately I finished my exams like this, Bara. I got to my hostel and I went to the market to go get the materials. I did not do that as a therapy while I was still studying. Right. So I did it and then I just like put in the the whole effort and the whole energy, and in a few days I was able to like finish. Though I had written a letter to the clinic earlier that I wanted to like donate those artworks, right? And when I was also doing AHC 3.0, I have to like extend my stay there because I did not want AHC, I did not want the outreach to affect my academics. So I did it after I was done with my academic work. I did it during a break where I was able to like, okay, sit, and then I focused on it, and then I was able to do. And then for 84.0 too, 84.0 came after I was done with my studies. It came after I was done with my project work here. So it did not come, it did not come when I was in part 5, because I had a lot of stuff I was doing at that time. But in part 5 too, I took up a role, and that was the chairman of my departmental conference. But that was also for a time. Even though it took a lot from me, but it was also for a time frame. It wasn't like too long. Okay. Then the other thing I want to talk about is so knowing your priorities is very, 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 very important. So you need to like know, okay, what exactly should I be focusing at this time? If you need to focus on just 2 things, focus on them. If you don't need to focus on 3 things, focus on them. Then knowing exactly your priorities is important. If your spiritual life is very, 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 very important to you, you must be able to guard it with all jealousy. Must be able to guard it with all jealousy. And when I mean spirituality now, I'm not necessarily saying the number of services you attend in church or the number of programs you attend. That's not what I'm saying. Do you really have that connection with God? Do you really feel like, okay, yes, you are in his presence? Do you really feel like, okay, yes, you are doing what exactly you ought to do? Do you really feel like, okay, yes, you are developing that relationship that you have with God? Even if it is 30 minutes that you want to like dedicate per day, are you like consistent with it? Are you really, does God really know that, okay, yes, with the 24 hours that this girl or this boy has, at least he or she's taking out time to like put me first, right? So and then you need to also really know how to manage time properly. I know that this is a thing that many of us listen to, we hear, but it's not cliche. Few weeks ago, even till last week, I was still like discussing with a few students, and I told them, I mean, you have 24 hours in a day, right? Out of 24 hours you have in a day, time for lectures at most is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or let me say to maybe to 6 p.m. That's 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? That's about 10 hours. That's 10 hours per day. 10 hours out of 24 hours. That means you still have 14 hours in the day. Listen. Now, you don't have that across 5 days in a week. Not 7 days in a week, oh. Not 7 days in a week. And it is not possible for you to have classes for 10 hours a day. In OAE, for instance, you offer 24 unit course, which means that you the highest number of lectures that you can have in a week is 24. It's for 24 hours. It's for 24 hours. So if you are dividing 24 hours in 5 days, for instance, let us okay, maybe average of 5 hours per day. Right. So it means that if you have lectures for 5 hours per day, considering it though, you have lectures for 5 hours per day, and you have 24 hours in a day, since you still have 19 hours. So what are you using 19 hours to do? So generally, I tell people to just plan it out. Plan your 24/7. Put on a timetable, on a very, very big timetable. Fill in your classes, fill in the things you do. Okay, when you go to church, when you wake up. By the time you are done filling it, you'll see extra spaces that you are not maximizing well. The time that you would actually use to get to your department and you used to sit down in your balcony, in the departmental balcony, and you're just like talking and just with your friend, you would have used it to like, I mean, probably done an assignment or do something better or read and all of that. When you're waiting for a lecturer in the classroom or in the classroom, you can easily use that time to like quickly reply your chat and I mean do something more profitable when you are done, instead of just gisting. And I mean, for people in OAU, instead of walking to Aside Hut with a friend and you're just gisting, and then you come back again, you go to motion ground and you're just sitting and gisting there. You can easily use those 1 hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours between your lectures. They are really, really time for you to like really, really maximize. If you can use the library, use the library. If you know that you cannot use the library, if it's under a tree that you know that you would always like go to for you to like maximize, then it's very, very good that you actually maximize them. But the thing is that you actually have the hours, but you should ask yourself how exactly you're maximizing them. And then it's also good that you stretch yourself. You should know that at this stage or as a student, basically, it's just for a period of time, right? It's not forever. Well, that's one of the things I should tell myself. I will tell myself, okay, I think that this thing will not last forever. This thing is just for a period of time. And so I'm going to give it my best. And when I'm done with school, I'm going to try as much as possible to cater for all the things I wasn't able to do, even in school, right? So I think I've been able to like answer that a little. Yeah. So the next question I have here is how do I navigate challenges or conflicts between my passion and my faith? Okay. Um. Okay. So Rotimi said you understand now. Fine. Clement says, yeah, failures comes with life. The higher version, the higher your vision, the higher the failure you should expect. Okay, that's very fine. Okay. So the next question is how to navigate challenges or conflicts between my passion and my faith. Now, I think this question, I do not know what was exactly in the mind of who wrote it, right? Are you trying to say that the issue now is that we are comparing my passion and my faith? I mean, maybe there are certain things that maybe there are certain values that negate themselves with my passion and faith. For instance, are you saying that okay, maybe in art as healing therapy, maybe there's something I need to do in art as healing therapy that negates my faith? Or you're trying to say that okay, how do I navigate challenges with my passions, and how do I navigate challenges with my faith? I really do not know, but I'm going to answer for the second part because I feel like that is what the person is trying to say here. Okay, so how do I navigate challenges with my passions? As I said, this year I've faced a lot of glasgows. This year I've faced a lot of. I feel like this year I've had a lot of unpleasant surprises or pleasant experiences that I've experienced, right? But one of the things I've learned to do is to develop mental capacity. And one of the things I've learned to do is to know that life is not always rosy. There's always a thing or the other happening. And so even when you get married, even if you get into a relationship where you get married, something might happen or the other. Something might not just work in your place of work, or somebody might not be feeling well and miss your family member and all of that. So you really just must decide to know how to really, really cater for yourself and how to like combine situations that are not too pleasant with you showing up, with you knowing that even though this is not working well, I still have to like show up. And it's really in that place of building a very, 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 very high mental capacity that can bear it, because it's possible that you are going through a lot and you just break down and you're not able to like focus on a lot of things. But that time when you develop a very, very strong mental capacity, you're able to like do quite a number of things, right? And you're still standing strong, you're still showing up, right? And you have that strong emotional intelligence too. Okay, so when there are challenges with my faith, now challenges with my faith come in different ways. Are you trying to say that okay, maybe when people negate my faith, what do I do at that time? Or are you trying to say that okay, challenges in me developing my relationship with God, right? So I'll try to answer in both ways. If it is in you feeling that oh yes, I need to like move closer to God and I'm not doing more, I think the thing I would like to tell is I'm going to talk about the issue of vulnerability. You need to like be very, very vulnerable. You need to like really let God know. There are times that I know I need to pray. I know I need to study scriptures and I don't feel like, and I will tell God and I'll say, I know I need to do this at this time, but I don't feel like, but I know that you can help me. So you need to like just very, very vulnerable. And there are times I also need accountability partners. There are times you need accountability partners. At the end, at the beginning of the day, I have to tell the person I took a particular decision. And I told the person, I was like, I know that you are working in this part already and I want to improve on it. So I want to make you an accountability partner. So you could tell a particular person, okay, yes, I want to do this, so I want to make an accountability partner. Every day I'm going to like, what's it called? Tell you how far I've gone, or every week I'm going to tell you how far I've gone. Okay. But if it's about people really negating your faith, negating your belief in God, that's where your test really comes. And you have to like stand. You have to know that yes, it is either my faith or my faith. Right? And I'm really, really going to stand by it. It's either God or God, and I'm really going to stand by it. And so if any offer is coming that will make you negate your faith or will make you go astray, then you know that it's actually no. It's 9:30 already, right? But I'll try to really go through others. My development progress limitations, and well, I think this is another question, but I really cannot get what this person was trying to say. But I think I've talked about my development process, my limitations, and I can't get that very well. Okay, what can one do not to accept defeat? What can one do not to accept defeat? And I would say that it's a very good thing for you to not to accept defeat is for you to be very, very sure about who you are. Your self-identity must be very strong. Like you must be that yourself. You must be your number one motivator. You must be your number, you must be the person who would always say yourself that this is who you are, not what people are telling you that you are. Right? You must always get back. It's good to cry. There are times that I cry. I mean, if you will know that you really need to like let the emotions out, yeah, you should, right? But do not feel like because these people have told me that I'm not good, or because I failed this particular exam, okay, then it means I'm not good and I'm not going to try again. No, you still go and try again because you know that you actually have the ability to, and people who are doing it do not have to wait. Okay, how can I maintain? The next question is, how can I maintain consistency in growth? How can I maintain consistency in growth? And for this, I will say that it's good that you have a community of like-minded people, community where you can go for coaching classes, and that's a very big one for me. And go for coaching classes, you might have to pay for them, but they would really really help you, because you see people who are also like struggling like you, people who want to become better versions of themselves, and they would, I mean, and you would have resources, you'd have accountability partners, you'd have resources, yeah, that would really really shift your level of thinking, that would shift your potentials, that will let you know that, oh yes, you really really deserve the life that you want, and life that you want really really deserves you. Okay, and then you are also like seeing people who are like improving, and so you want to like improve more. So a good way is to join such communities, or better still, you could also have a coach for yourself, a person you can always like talk with, right? And then I think for me that those are very important, and then having accountability partners too. Then the other thing is you rewarding yourself. Rewarding yourself is also very 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 important. When you reward yourself of the things that you do, when you do well, you reward yourself, and you tell yourself, okay, if I'm able to like do this at the end of this week, I'm going to do this for myself. It's really a way for you to like really support yourself on your journey of growth. Next question you have here is how to be more confident. So you have to be more confident in your potential. How to be more confident in your potential. And for this, I would say that a way to be very, very confident in your potential is really knowing who you are, right? And it's really knowing that people need what you have. And what you those people might not be people who are in your immediate circle. I need to highlight that. Those people might not be people who are in your immediate circle. So for instance, now maybe you feel like, okay, your target audience, for instance, maybe are celebrities. I know your friends that you have, there are people who get 10K per month as alawi, right? They may, if you discuss your business plan with them, they may tell you, I mean, that is not even feasible, that is not possible, this is not this, but it doesn't mean that it's not possible, right? So it means that you need an environment, a particular set of community that would be able to get, or yeah, they'll be able to get what exactly you are trying to say. So what you need to do is know what you believe in, know your vision, and be able to communicate it in a way that it will convince people. That when people are when you are talking about it, people will be able to say, "Oh yes, now I know what you are talking about. Oh yes, I see sense in it," and they are able to like invest or able to believe you. Right? There's a difference between or let me say there's the capacity of knowing your value, and there's also the capacity of knowing how to communicate your value. Right? Knowing your value is one, knowing how to communicate your value is another. Knowing your value is one, knowing how to communicate your value is another. And that's very, 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 very important. And as I said, you need to build your social portfolio. Nobody might carry your matter on your head as you. Okay. How have I been able to maintain consistency in all I do? Come in. Oh my. How have I been able to maintain consistency in all I do? What keeps me motivated? And what advice would I give to those who are trying to stay consistent and strive for excellence? Okay, how have I been able to maintain consistency in all I do? I would say that it is in me knowing that whether I see results or not, I'll keep pushing. Yes. I was talking with someone last week, and I talked about my IG page, and I talked about a few things I really did not like about it and all of that. And then it was encouraging me and all of that. One of the things I really say that is really key for me is there are most times I really do not see, or yeah, the result I actually expect, or the result I feel like I was on a lot of things I do. But the thing is that I still do them because I just believe that they'll be accumulated. The accumulated efforts that will definitely speak for me one day. Okay, so that has helped me to like stay consistent in the things I do. Then what keeps me motivated? My vision keeps me motivated. Where I'm going in the future keeps me motivated. What I see myself becoming keeps me motivated. And I know that I would not and I know that I would not get there if I do not continue to strive for more. I know that I would not get there if I back out now. I know that life has more to offer. And so that's that big vision, right? Really, really keeps me going. What advice would I give to those who are who are trying hard to stay consistent and strive for excellence? One of the things I would really say is that you need to know what exactly you want to do, right? Because sometimes the reason why we are not consistent in certain things is because it is not really our it's not really in our inner it's not really our inner ability, it's not really our strength. So you really need to know if that's the what you should be doing. And then it's good that you actually reward yourself for doing them when you are able to do them. So you tell yourself, okay, I want to get maybe 5 A's this semester. If I'm able to get 5 A's, I'm going to do this for myself. If it is 4, I'm going to do this, right? So it helps you. And then getting accountability partners. There are some people who love to read together. For me as a person, I prefer to read on my own. If you are reading together with a particular person is what would like help you, then why not? Just need to find what really works for you and try to maximize. Okay. And then how to strive for excellence in all you do. What I would say about this is you should know that in anything you are doing, can a president or can a governor come and see what you are doing and say they want you to work for them? If not, it means that there is still more that you need to do. If not, it means that there are still things that you need to like improve on, and you must really, really be ready um to improve on these things, to really be able to go, okay, yes, I need to like really, really work on this. I really want to. I know that it might not be possible to be perfect, right? But when you really work to perfection, then you can achieve excellence to a very, 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 very reasonable level, right? So think that you are serving things. How would they want to be served? And are you actually meeting up to that expectation? And then think about your integrity in the eyes of people. Let people be able to say that, okay, yes, this person has built a track record of excellence over the years, and we are able to like trust this person with doing this and that. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Rotimi. The next question we have here is how can I build my capacity to be stronger? How can I build my capacity to be stronger? I already talked about coaching sessions, and those ones for me are a very, very big one. You need to like really be ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Get to experience words from people who are really, really gone ahead of you. People are living a better and higher life that you desire and that you can actually really, really enjoy. Right? So you need to get on coaching sessions. I don't know how you want to do it, but it's just important. It's just cocoa. Right now, I'm even on a coaching session, right? And it is paid with a whole lot of money. Right? So, but then the thing is that when you see some of the things that people do, you do not really know. You really do not know what exactly they have put into it. You don't know the sacrifice they've put into it. But really, if you want to build your capacity, go for coaching sessions, volunteer in organizations. You know, you need to build certain skills, volunteer in organizations, volunteer for certain skills, and be ready to work. Because I have really, really seen that many people these days, they just want to build their CV, they're not ready to work. They don't want to say that, yes, they were part of a particular project, but they're not ready to really, really put in what they need to. And that is not as it should be. Okay? So when you want to build your capacity, be ready to go all out to ensure that by the time you put something on your CV, you are actually able to like do it. Okay. I have another question here. More. These questions. These questions. These questions. Okay. So we have Clement here. Yeah, you're welcome, Clement. It's a pleasure. So in the next 10 years, where do you see myself? Where are we going to meet? Where are we going to meet? Ah, okay. So I would say that next 10 years, I see myself fulfilling purpose. I think that answers it best, right? I can't really say that exactly in 10 years. This is what exactly I'll be doing. That does not mean that I do not have my projections for that, right? But time will tell. Okay. Thank you. I'll do okay. So this is another question. How do you excel at all responsibilities? Give extremely practical tips. Wow. For this person to even put this word extremely practical tips, it means that the person really, really wants more things. Okay. How do I excel at all my responsibilities? Okay, I would say that one, there is that principle of intentionality. And there is principle of you not backing down no matter what you are facing. That's for me is a big one, because as I said, I've had a lot of setbacks, and this year I've even like had more, right? But when you see the things I do, you will not know that I've had those setbacks. When you see the things I do or I do, you will not know that you will not know that I've had lots of things I've had to like deal with my in my personal space, right? So you really, 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 really need to. You really, really need to continue. Then the other thing again is a good way for you to excel at in your responsibilities, right? Is doing your best. Doing your best. And as I said, there was a question that was asked like that, and I talked about you serving kings. If you are working and a governor can also see what you are doing and say, oh yes, I want you to come and work with me, or a president can say and say, oh yes, I want you to come and work with me, I want you to do this, then it means that you actually need to improve on yourself. So you need to have that mindset that okay, yes, you want to deliver your services in such great and very, very excellent way that um people will be able to call for you. The scriptures that says that see a man that is diligent in his hands, you stand before kings and not mean men, right? So what makes you stand before kings and not mean men is responsibility, right? So and you really positioning yourself, you need to really position yourself, right, to be able to actually attain those levels, because there are certain there's a position that you need to like be there's a position that you need to like have for you to be able to access a king, right? A person who is just by the road may not be able to access a king, right? But there is that way that you would have packaged yourself, that level of intelligence, that level of capacity that you would have had, that when a king sees, they want to like really, really call for you. So you really need to like um be able to like position yourself at that. Then another way that you can also like really excel at responsibilities is that you should be ready to learn. Yeah, you are commuting. Is that you should actually be ready to learn. You should be ready to learn. You should be ready to learn. Now, all the things that I know now, I did not know them just in a day. I knew them by taking responsibilities. I knew them by wanting to do stuff, right? I entered as Central Office of Research, so that also like really, really taught me a whole lot, right? And I see, it's so funny that these days I see some interns who cannot do certain things, and I feel like really you cannot do these simple things, and these are people who try to prove pay and try to prove like they're very intelligent, and I feel like these simple things you cannot really do them really, really. So it's also in that place of you saying that, oh yes, I really want to do this, oh yes, I really want to take on responsibility, oh yes, I want to learn, oh yes, I know that I'm not perfect, I know that I make mistakes, but I want to learn, I want to be better. So it's really, really in that place, and it's also in place of you sacrificing. You cannot just want to be sleeping all the time or watching movies all the time, and you want to like excel at responsibility. It's not going to work. There are times that those responsibilities self will not, they will not make you, they won't be too convenient, but you still just have to work on them. Then the other thing is that you excel at responsibilities by being familiar with responsibilities. If you are not familiar with responsibilities, you may not be able to excel at them, because you won't be able to. By the time you start taking up responsibilities, you begin to make certain mistakes. You begin to know that, oh yes, I ought to do this. No, I shouldn't do this. Oh yes, I made this mistake, but I'm not going to make it next time and all of that. But if you don't take responsibility, if you start taking responsibility in 5 years time, that's when you start making those mistakes. So the earlier you take those responsibilities and you actually like graduate from that mistake academy, then the better. Okay, I think I've been able to do that. Um, this session, this session, this session. Okay, so we have one here, and it is: do you feel fair when embarking on a big and demanding project? How do you deal with it while giving your best? Okay, now I would really want to tell you that I am human, right? I'm not an angel. So I what's it called? I have flesh, I have blood, I have brain. Okay. So there are times that I really want to do certain things, and I know that this what I want to do is really big. For instance, for 84.0, the story behind that is a lot. And when I got reminded that I ought to like work on it, when I got reminded that I ought to like work on 84.0, I was just recovering from an illness. I felt sick badly, like it was very, very bad. I broke down, right? And then I was just recovering. I had my projects to face. I had deadlines, my exams, my final exams were coming. I knew that I also like also do this thing. So it was a whole lot for me at that time. So I feel like it was big. I was just giving in my heart, I was giving different excuses, and I was saying, no, I cannot do this because of this, or I cannot do this because of that. Oh no, capital is not there. Even that, so I was like, even the strength, I don't have the strength at this stage. Even the time is not there. So I was giving a whole lot of stuff. But then I just stepped out in faith. I just stepped out and I said, okay, yes, I'm going to really do this. Okay, yes, I'm going to like make things work. And so what do I do? So I feel fair, right? But how do I deal with it? There is an adage that says that energy goes where attention, the attention goes where energy, no, energy goes where attention flows. I guess. I hope I quoted that right. Right. And it's very, very good that you plan. Now, when you are looking at how bogus a work is, you're looking at how extreme, how so voluminous it is, you won't be able to like focus on how to get it done. You will just be so consumed by the fact that, oh no, this thing is so much, this thing is so big, I don't think I can do it. But when you get, I mean, when you come to the fact that, when you come to accept that, no, actually achieve this. Oh yes, there are people who are doing this and they don't have 2 heads. They don't have they don't have 5 heads. And then when you have seen people who have also done these things, right? People have done and have done these things. You are saying that, oh, I can also do it. So you know that it is possible. It's not, you know that it's not impossible. Okay. And so what I do is, when I have such big projects to do, I plan, I schedule it. If you work with me, or if you have been on a team with me, you know how much I love to structure. I just pieces it, like I pieces it. I take that stuff. Okay, what I want to do is 4.0. What are the steps? What exactly do I need to do? Number one, number two, number three, number four. What are the steps? Okay, it means I need to do this first. Get this letter first. Okay, what is the idea I have? Okay, how many people do we need? Okay, what venue are we using? So I try to like analyze every single. By the time you analyze, you realize that you have lesser tension in your brain. Then you just considering and saying, oh, this thing is so voluminous, this thing is so big, I don't think I can do it. Just break everything down. Even in your academics, even when you want to prepare for exams, right? Thank you so much, big boss. I really appreciate this. Even in your academics, right? Sometimes you may feel like, oh yes, I have this course. Oh no, this course is so big, this course is so voluminous. And no, what you need to do, just break it down. Okay, I have 9 courses, for instance. I have 9 courses and I need to read. Just break them down. You don't need to you don't need to focus on how voluminous a project is that you are not now able to like achieve what you need to achieve. Okay. Um so, and then I've also really learned the principle of delegation. That for me is also very profound. I learned the principle of delegation because I know that I cannot do everything myself. Else, I'm going to like burn out. So I've learned the principle of delegation, and I've learned the principle of delegation basically, and letting people know that yeah, this is what we are working on. This is what you need to do, and these are the principles that we are upholding while we are even working on this project. Okay. Now we have another question here. What's the one habit you have developed that has the most impact on your life? I would say that it's the principle of the divine advantage and divine heritage. I would say that that's at the core of every single thing I do. That impacts every single thing I do. Without Jesus, I as I said, I'll be doing rubbish. Basically, like I don't have sense in that way. So that is like at the core of every single thing I do. If you remove that from my life, I feel like I am empty. Okay, so the habit that I would really say is really ensuring that yes, I have that connection with God, right? And then another habit that I would say that has impacted my life the most is another habit, I'll say planning. Planning. Because this is habit, this is not even principle now. But habit. This one wants to distract me. This one wants to distract me. Daniel, hi, welcome. It's great to have you here. So gather here if you are here for the year. Okay now. Okay, let's get back to track. Let's be focused. Okay. So the other habit I would really say is goal planning, and that for me is big, and it comes after your evaluation. When you evaluate yourself at the end of the year, and then you begin to see how much you have done in different pillars of your life. You're talking about the God factor, you're talking about your finances, you're talking about your academics, you're talking about your career, you're talking about your relationship, you're talking about your health. You can really, I mean, you can really break things down and say, okay, how far did I go? Did I really achieve what I wanted to achieve? Okay, and then you can really say, oh yes, this is the next thing I want to do. So this is next, these are what my next goals will be. Because it's good that you don't just continue to set goals. If you continue to just set goals and set goals without analyzing how the past season was or how the past year was, you will realize that you may not achieve the exact results that you ought to. But when you analyze, you have those evaluations, you ask yourself different questions. Okay, how well did I do? What were my successes? What were my strengths? You may even feel like it takes time, but really, evaluation for me takes time. But the thing is that by the time you are done with the evaluation, you have more clarity, you will not make mistakes, you know what exactly you need to focus on, and it makes your journey easier than you going on in the next 365 days and you're just still going with baggage and you're not like sure about the result that you want to achieve. So it's good that you spend that 3-4 hours evaluating and then planning very well, and then you know what exactly you need to like focus on for the next year or for the next season, right? That for me is like very important. That's goal planning, self evaluation, right? And then when you're also like planning your goals, you're breaking them down. You're not just saying, oh yes, at the end of next year, this is what I want to become. You're breaking them down to quarters. Okay, at the end of this quarter, this is what I want to do, right? At the end of and then those quarters, you're breaking them to months. At the end of this month, this is what I want to do. Then you're breaking them to weeks rather. And say at the end of this week, this is what I should have done. That's the way to really make yourself accountable. You're not just saying, okay, yes, at the end of this year, I want to have saved 500,000. If you're just saying that, I mean, you may not save. But when you say, okay, you want to save 500,000 at the end of this year, or for instance, how much should I have saved at the end of each month? You break it down, 500,000 and divided by 12. Okay, it means that, and then you ask yourself, are you a salary earner or a wage earner? Okay, then you divide it, or a wages earner rather. Then you divide it again. Okay, if you are probably like a salary earner, it means that you already know the amount you need to like be dedicating per month for you to save. I know that once you do not save, you know that you will already like reducing the chances of you achieving that your goal, right? And if it is what's called in terms of wages, or you need to like break it down to weeks or even to days, you know that, oh yes, I need to like do this thing this day. I need to like speak to 3 customers, or you say like, okay, yes, at the end of this, I want to like have maybe 500 customers, for instance. So how many customers do you or potential customers do you need to like speak to in a day or in a month and all of that? Thank you so much. So let me just take this water. But I think I have really answered that question. Oh my God, we've been here. I have just 2 questions more, and I feel like I'm so happy. Okay, my big sis is here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. This means a lot. Thank you. Love you. Okay, so the next question. This is the second to the last question. And it is, how do you prioritize self-growth in the middle of employment, huge tasks, and deadlines? Let me first drink water. So it's really knowing your priorities. Your priorities is very important. If you know that you really want to grow, then you must find time for it. If you love a person, if the person is your priority, no matter how busy you are in a day, right, you still want to like find time to speak to the person, even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 15 minutes. No matter how busy you are, you still have that time to speak to the person, right? If your priority is football, even if you have an exam tomorrow, you still go and watch that football today. So if your priority is your self-growth, you would have to like just work around it. I told you that I'm on a coaching session right now, and It's so choky that I do overnight in order to catch up with my coaching assignments and my coaching tasks. And that's the thing I do for. I mean, this is my self growth now. I mean, yes, I can do overnight for other things, but really, for like some weeks now, I've been legit doing overnight because I want to like, be able to catch up with these tasks. Coaching, no, self growth, because I want to like really see a higher version of myself, and I want to be able to like enter a particular capacity that will be able to like bear the vision that I really, really, truly desire. Okay, so you can decide, plan your routine. Routine is very important. I cannot really overemphasize. Routine is important. I just have talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it here. Routine is important. When do you wake up? When do you wake up? Right? What do you do when you wake up? If you know that, okay, yes, you want to have your devotion between what time to what time, then after that, between what time to what time, what exactly do you want to do? For instance, I have a routine, right? I know that, and I know that every day I am to have my language sessions. Every day I am to like listen. I am to have a time to for my coaching classes, right? For if you're not even taking a coaching class, you could decide to like have maybe 20 minutes for you to like listen to maybe a person that's really gonna ahead in your field or in your sector. It could be on YouTube. You could decide, okay, maybe after having your devotion before eating breakfast, you want to have maybe 20 minutes of meditation or 20 minutes of listening to someone that's gone ahead in your own, what's it called, in your field. You just go to your YouTube, listen for 20 minutes, listen for 30 minutes, right? Gain a thing, and then you can continue with the day. So it's about you really, really factoring it. You really need to factor it in into whatever you are doing, right? The same way you would always find time to eat is the same way you should actually really find time for yourself growth. Because at the end of the day, you are your biggest asset. You are your organization's biggest asset. If you are not able to like enter that level that can bear whatever you need to, then it's really not going to work. Okay. I think I have last question. I am so happy. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. How do you tend to manage my time to study? How do I tend to manage my time to study? Or how do I used to manage my time to study? Or even till now, I think I'm going to talk about this. And I think if I tell people that I am a naturally slow reader, I know you may want to like not agree and say, Ibukun, you really slow reader? How? What do you mean? But really, sometimes I feel like I am slow in doing certain things, right? But how do I manage my time to read? Is I know what I am looking for. I know the amount of time or the amount of effort that I need to be able to get it. And I'm going to give a very, very practical example here. I love to give practical examples. We have different capacities. Some people can read a course in a day. Or let me say, don't let me use a day. Let me say in 5 hours. And they're going to understand all the content of the course, and they can go write an exam and pass and get A. Now, so there are two people, they have different capacities and they want to get A's in their exams, right? For one, in 5 hours, you can finish the whole course and you go for A and you get it A. But for another person, he needs to read for 15 days before he can get the A. But the thing is this, if he can actually read for those 15 days, he's actually going to get the A. But he will now shortchange himself if he now reads for 5 days and he gets a B or a C. Or he now reads for 5 hours that the other person is reading for and he now gets a D. Okay? So it's really knowing yourself, knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, what exactly works for you, and you really saying that, oh yes, I'm going to really put in the time that this really, really necessitates. Okay. And it's good that you're actually a early riser. You know what exactly you need to do. And then know the time of the day that you are most productive in. If you are more productive in the mornings, maximize your mornings. If you are more productive in the evenings, maximize your evenings. If you are not more productive at any time, then you need to also really maximize. If you know that you cannot read in the library, there's no point to going there and going to sleep just because you want to mark attendance. If you know that where you need to read is the library, then go and get your ID card and go to the library, right? If you know that what you need to do is to read alone, then read alone. If you know that you need an accountability partner, you need somebody to read with, then get somebody to read with so that you can actually get what you need to. Yeah. I think I've answered all the questions right now. Is there any other? Do we have any other question? Is there any other thing that I've not touched? If you have any other questions, I think this is time to really ask while we round up. Woo! This has really been a very, very enlightening session for me. Okay, I think we've answered quite a number of questions already, so I think we have exhausted them. Um, yeah, but it was really great having you here. It was really great doing this with you. I mean, this is about 2 hours already. But I'm really, really super pumped. I know that you have learned a thing on the order. I really love to have your reviews. If you want to send me any message, you could really direct them to me, right? Or even share them here in the comments. Then you could let us connect on social media. And it's really, really be great having you having you around. Yeah, welcome, Clements. So nice, so nice, so nice to have you guys. Yeah. Okay, so you can connect with me on social media. You have the links here, and then yeah, you can easily come back to watch this. This is YouTube live, so you can easily come back to watch this video here on my YouTube channel, and then share to people that I know really need this. I know that you've gotten quite a number of value today, and so you know that there are some people, maybe that your classmate or that your roommate that needs to get some things straight. Go and share this with them and ensure that they also watch. Um yeah, so till next time when I come your way, next time when we do this again, and to the next time when I get to see more of you, right? When I'm going to like have you again in my boardroom. Yeah, keep being you, keep being you, keep being you, and keep growing. And I'm really, really, really rooting for you. I can't wait for all of us to get to the top together, and then we really, really achieve what God would have us do, and we live that glorious, fulfilling life that we truly, 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 truly desire. So thank you so much, guys. I'm so grateful. Yeah, from Birthday Girl. Tomorrow's Birthday Girl. I'm saying bye. And then if you want to get any of my resources, I have some webinars. I have a language book. If you think you want to get it, you could just let me know. You could get them straight from my link tree, right? I also I have this webinar replay, acing your exams, where I shared practical steps that helped me right during my undergraduate days. You could also easily order for that. Yeah. And then subscribe, yeah. Comment, like, how they say it, like, you comment, you share, you subscribe, yeah. So bye, guys. And you can go through my channel to see some of the other videos that I have like posted there. So yeah, it's been a great night with you, and I wish you the very, 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 very